So, what if I told you that our entire modern day chase for happiness is, well, completely wrong? What if there's a radical, ancient framework for living a truly meaningful life that has almost nothing to do with just feeling good? Today, we're going to dig into the mechanics of human flourishing, all according to one of the sharpest minds in history, Aristotle.
All right, let's just start with a really direct question. Right now, in this very moment, are you happy? Just take a second. Really think about it.
Well, here's the thing. If that's the question you're asking yourself, Aristotle would say you've already missed the entire point. For him, chasing the feeling of happiness isn't just a little misguided. It's a sign that something is fundamentally off track. To a guy like Aristotle, our modern obsession with finding happiness would look like, and this is a strong phrase, a massive failure of character. So let's unpack why what we call happiness and what he called flourishing are two totally, completely different things. See, we tend to think of happiness as this passive thing, right? It's this fleeting feeling that just kind of happens to us when everything goes our way. But Aristotle's big idea, eudaimonia, is the exact opposite. It's not passive at all. It's an active, disciplined process. It's something you have to deliberately build brick by brick every single day. So let's get this definition straight, because it's important. Eudaimonia, it's not about feeling cheerful. It's an activity. It literally means you are functioning at your absolute peak as a human being. It's about what you do, not how you feel. And the engine that drives that activity, the active, conscious exercise of your reason. Okay, so what in the world does it mean to function as a human? This question right here leads to one of Aristotle's most powerful concepts, the idea of a unique purpose, a core function he called ergon.
Think about it this way. It's actually pretty simple. A knife has one main job, to cut. If it's dull and can't cut, it's a bad knife. It doesn't matter how cool it looks. Well, Aristotle argues that we humans also have a unique function, one thing that separates us from every other creature on the planet. And that function is our ability to reason.
And Aristotle, he doesn't pull any punches here. He'd say that if your day is just a series of reactions, reacting to emails, looking for the next snack, mindlessly scrolling for a little hit of comfort, you're not actually living a fully human life. You're living the life of an animal, just operating on instinct and impulse. So this is the crucial part. This is the formula, and it's simple, but man, it is not easy. To achieve that state of eudaimonia, to really, truly flourish, you have to perform your unique human function, which is to reason, and you have to do it with excellence. The Greeks had a word for that, arete.
Okay, great. So how do we actually build this excellence? I mean, it's not something you're just born with. Well, lucky for us, Aristotle laid out a really clear, almost mechanical process for engineering your own character. It's basically a three-stage rocket. First up is habituation. This is the fake it till you become it stage. You don't wait to feel courageous, you just perform courageous acts over and over again until you are courageous. Then stage 2, you develop phronesis, which is just a fancy term for practical wisdom. This is where you go beyond just repeating things and you learn to read a room, to know the right thing to do at the right time. And finally, stage 3, you achieve autarkia, or self-sufficiency. This is where you find the reward in the act itself, not because someone's patting you on the back.
So how do you develop that practical wisdom? One of the key tools is this idea of the golden mean. See, for Aristotle, virtue isn't about being perfect. It's a target. It's the perfect sweet spot you're always aiming for between two extremes, two vices. So courage isn't the opposite of cowardice. It's the perfect middle ground between being a coward on one side and being a reckless idiot on the other.
But look, Aristotle was not some philosopher with his head in the clouds. He was a realist. He knew you can't really practice generosity if you're flat broke, or be courageous if you're seriously sick. He said that things like your health, some basic resources, and good friends, that's all the necessary equipment you need to even get in the game of practicing virtue.
All right, so we've covered the what and the why. Now let's get down to the how. This isn't just some abstract philosophy to think about. It's a practical plan for your life, and you can start today.
And the very first step is just some honest self-assessment. In the really important areas of your life, are you balanced, or are you swinging way too far to one side or the other?
This character audit right here is your diagnostic tool. Let's just take one. Risk at work. Are you cowardly? Do you avoid every necessary risk and never grow? Or are you reckless, charging ahead without thinking? The goal is that sweet spot in the middle, courage. How about social media? Are you so modest you never share your wins? Or are you just a boastful show-off? The goal is simple truthfulness. Take a second and really see where you land on these. Okay, now for your daily practice. Number 1, set a morning intention and be specific. Don't just say, I'm going to be more patient. Say, in that 10 a.m. meeting today, I will let everyone else speak before I do. See the difference? 2, check your equipment. Is your foundation, your health, your finances, your network solid? If not, that's your job 1. And 3, train your primary muscle. Dedicate 60 minutes, just 1 hour, to deep, focused work or learning. That's how you strengthen your rational faculty.
And please, remember, this is not a solo mission. Aristotle was adamant that we are social creatures, so who are you surrounding yourself with? Are your friendships just based on what's useful or what's fun? Or do you have friends who actually push you to be better? And beyond that, how are you using your excellence to contribute to the world around you, beyond just collecting a paycheck? So, if you take one thing away from all of this, let it be this huge shift in your mindset. Stop chasing a fleeting feeling called happiness. Instead, commit to the disciplined, daily work of becoming the best possible version of yourself. Start seeking optimal functioning.
And with that, I'm going to leave you with one final, very practical question. I want you to look back at just the last 2 days of your life. Where did you default to just passively consuming instead of actively reasoning? Where did you let an impulse win? Where was the leak in your own human functioning? Because the answer to that question, that's where your real work begins.